Yes, dear respected sadhakas, welcome. No greater duty if we really take upon than studying the Shastras, even though we are in a world of so much busyness and the time is fleeting so fast. Yet it is we have to be convinced about it. Whether we are in a retired position, whether we are in service, whether we are endowed with so many responsibilities, given or taken, in spite of all this busy schedule, we have to find time, somehow manage and find time for our own regular study of Shastras, which alone keeps us in contact with the truth, in contact with the ultimate goal to be reached. Minus exposing to Shastras through that, remembering the ultimate goal, we only get lost in the world and worldliness, and it becomes a terrible habit to come out of which again it becomes impossible. Once we have managed to include spirituality in our life, especially the study of Shastra, sustaining it, deepening it, expanding it, intensifying it would be our second effort. All this is efforts only. It won't happen just like that by itself. If it has to happen by itself, it would have happened long back. After that way, we are able to intensify, deepen, strengthen, regularize our study. We have to keep asking questions how much clearly we have theoretically understood the truth and its glory. In that question, if answer is optimistic, yes, then it should inspire us to pursue the sadhana which takes us to that experience. Yes, at the cost of everything else. If that is not happening, means we are not yet understood and convinced about the glory of Shastra, Paramatma Tattva, Supreme Truth. That means our listening reflection is not yet sufficient. Therefore, we have to come back to basics and strengthen from here. Again, restudy, recontemplate, and reinstate in us the glory of Atma Tattva or Parama Tattva, and then ensure that the desire to get to that experience that is strengthened and inspired, intensified, because we do that thing about which we have the desire, the stronger desire, the continuous desire. That is why in Taittiriya Upanishad, in the beginning only the Guru Maharaj told Bhashyakara, only the Atmakami becomes Aptakama, and the Kamanas cannot be totally annihilated unless they are replaced by Atmakamana. Both ways. Atmakami alone can be Aptakami. Because in the Atma Kamana, when the Atma Vastu is experienced, it being infinite, blissful, eternal self, there is no Kamana rises after that. Therefore, Atma Kamana and Atma Kamana Purti through Adhyatmika Sadhana alone is Apta Kamana, means fulfillment of all desires. There is no other way. Second thing, how to reduce the other desires which are very disturbing, distracting, pulling us to worldliness by replacing the Jagat Vastu Kamana with the Atma Kamana. See the logic and connection between them. Then how do we do that? Again, only through study of Shastra, our own analysis, when we know that every Kamana is illusory, delusory, unfulfilling, because the Kamya Vastu itself is unreal. And only thing that is worthy of desiring is the self. That is why regular study of Shastra shifts our desire from worldly to the self oriented. And self oriented desire has strong intensities, so much it will inspire us to do the things required to realize that self. When the self is realized, because it is infinite and blissful, it will not be reduced, etc. Therefore, there is no scope for the bondage through the generation of the other set of kamanas. Therefore, Laukika Kamana replaced by Atma Kamana, Atma Kamana Purti becomes Apta Kama, and Apta Kama is a free bird. That's already we are seeing nowadays that topic only, even in our second Brahma Valli, sixth Anuvakam. So Kamayata Bhashyam Praja Yeya. In that we have seen the Swatantrata of the Brahma Tattva Kamana, etc. Though that is a little higher topic, but in the beginning only Bhagavan gave us how to manage our heart in its correct understanding. These are the basics. So we are studying Shastra for shifting our Kamana from the worldliness to the self. After that, our entire life will be no more struggling to gain anything of the world because that is not our desire. Our lives, all efforts will be directed to the discovery of self because that is what is our desire. Once self discovered, nothing more remains to be desired or gained. Thus, are our struggles, endeavors find the fulfillment in discovery of self. In this, as strongly, quickly we are convinced, so intensely, deeply, we can do the sadhana for this. It's all in our hands to create that sense of urgency, taking opportunity of the leisure periods, taking opportunity of we are left alone, taking the opportunity of the freedom given to us. हमको जो फ्रीडम दिया है और हमको जो लीजरनेस दिया है, हम जहाँ अपने आप के साथ छोड़े गए हैं उस समय हमको यूज करके उन अपॉर्चुनिटीज को हमारा परमात्मा प्राप्ति की इच्छा को शुभेच्छा कहते हैं ना इसको दृढ़ बनाना है. On that only our regularity to classes, sincerity of classes, doing the homework and trying to understand, if not asking the Acharya, then sitting for hours together for meditation, which are all essential. All of them depend on how strong is our Atma Kamana. Guru Shastra teaches us, and thereafter their job is over. After our job starts off, how sincerely we take it and ponder over, come to the correct understanding about glory of Atma Prapti, and therefore how much we are from deep within getting committed and convinced to reach out to that. Such person alone even gives everything up and goes for that wherever it is available. It is not available outside, but the outer situations are there which are conducive. Who he goes to those conducive situations from the non-conducive interrupting places or things or situations, whatever it may. We need not in today's world go anywhere. Wherever we are, find your own room, stick yourself throughout the day only for this job. Come out from this gufa like a lion only for having whatever minimum things required. This way also one can intensify one's sadhana. If that's not done, once a month, 10 days, go to some ashram, taking permission from the family members. If you are elder, no need of permission, only information. Go and do it. Find all what is possible to you depending on where do you stay, who are around you, what are your obligations, duties, and what is your capacity, your own mind's capacity. Depending on that, you do. And if you are left alone, your children are sending money from US or any place, you are the most lucky. That nothing to worry. About body etc. क्या फर्क पड़ा जब रहेगा नहीं तो रहे खाना खा लो अच्छा दवाई ले लो जो भी है remaining time only that. Instead of eating food and taking medicine and sitting in front of TV, sit in front of Shastra. Instead of sitting in front of cell phone, online, sit in front of your own Bhagavan. Only these many few changes, if you sincerely make, not only outer and inner, sadhana starts happening. May we all, by the study of Shastras, become matured in all these understandings, commitments, and all that maturity express in our actually doing sadhana and actually actualizing the actual self. May it happen to us. Thank you. Welcome. Today also, like every day, let us try our best to move a notch more towards that self in our understanding, inspiration, sadhana through the study of our Shastras, the Taittiriya Upanishad, the Yoga Darshanam, the Mundaka Upanishad, the Gita, Bhagavatam, Dashama, Bhagavatam, Dvadasha, Adhyatma Ramayanam, and today we'll start our new chantings. I have not yet thought of whatever. Anyway, glorious another day spread out in front for next 12 13 hours. How do we do in that? That makes our this day beautiful, fruitful or not. It's in our hands. Let us take a chance and give a chance to the Lord too. Let us start with our regular prayers. Om 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 Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsha Rishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyah. Om Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Bhishaje Bhavaroginam Gurave Sarva Lokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Vyasa Shankara Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Parambaram. Om Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahma Nidhaye Vasishthaya Namo Namaha. Om Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Loka Shankaram. Om Karunavaruналaya Palaya Mam Bhavasagara Dukkha Viduna Hrudam Rachaya Kila Darshana Tattvavidam Bhava Shankara Deshikame Sharanam. Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Satusham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhe Sakshibhutam Bhavaतीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. ओम परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः. श्री वेद व्यास वैशंपायन याज्ञवल्क्याद्यो शंकरादिगुरुभ्यो नमः. अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. संकल्पः सर्वेषां गुरूणां देवतानां परब्रह्मणः श्रुतिमातु अनुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव अनुभवसिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकसंस्कृतेः हैन्दवसंस्कृतेः पुनरुत्थानजागरणविश्वव्याप्त्यर्थं तत्कृतकङ्कणबद्धसमस्तसाधकानां समस्त अनुकूल्यतानां प्राप्तिद्वारा प्रातिकूल्यतानां निर्मूलनद्वारा धर्मसंस्थापनकार्ये दिग्विजय प्राप्त्यर्थं विश्वशान्तिकल्याण एकता प्राप्त्यर्थम् अस्माकं कर्तॄणाम् अभी आयुरारोग्य क्षेम स्थैर्य श्रद्धा भक्त्यादि सत्संपदा साधन द्वारा शास्त्र अध्ययन शास्त्र साधना शास्त्रोक्त परमात्मा प्राप्ति विषय विजय प्राप्त्यर्थम श्री अरुण प्रश्नस्य पारायणं तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे. आदौ अरुण प्रश्नः. Friends, in Aruna Prashna 95 we saw yesterday. Let us do from 96 to 100. Om Atha Aruna Prashnaha. Om Atha Aruna Keturuparishtadupadadhat Evahi Devahati Tato Deva Manushyaha Pitarah Gandharvapsarasaschodhatishtanna Sordhvadika या विप्रुषो विपरापतन्न ताभ्यो सुरारक्षागंसे पिशाचाश्चोदतिष्ठन्न तस्मात् ते पराभवन्न विप्रुभ्यो हि ते समभवन्न तदेशाभ्यनोक्ता आपोहयद्बृहतीर् गर्ममायन्न दक्षं दधाना जनयन्ति स्वयंभुं तत इमेद्य सृज्यन्त सर्गाः अद्भ्यो वा इदगं समभूत तस्मादिदगं सर्वं ब्रह्म स्वयंविते तस्मादिदगं सर्वगं शिथिलमिवा ध्रुवमिवाभवतो प्रजापतिर्वावतत आत्मनात्मानं विधाय तदेवानुप्राविशतो तदेशाभ्यनोक्ता विधाय लोकान् विधाय भूतानि विधाय सर्वाः प्रदिशो दिशश्च प्रजापते प्रथमजाहृतस्य आत्मनात्मानमभिसंविवेशेते सर्वमेवेदमाप्त्वा सर्वमवरुध्य तदेवानुप्रविशति य एवं वेद चतुष्टय्य आपो गृह्णाति चत्वारि वा अपागं रूपाणि मेघो विद्युत स्तनयित्नुर्वृष्टिः तान्येवावरुन्धे आतपतिवर्ष्या गृह्णाति ताः पुरस्तादुपदधाति एता वै ब्रह्मवर्चस्या आपः मुखत एव ब्रह्मवर्चसमवरुन्धे तस्मान्मुखतो ब्रह्मवर्चसितरः कूप्या गृह्णाति ता दक्षिणत उपदधाति एता वै तेजस्विनीरापः तेज एवास्य दक्षिणतो दधाति तस्माद्दक्षिणोर्धस्तेजस्वितरः स्थावरा गृह्णाति ताः पश्चादुपदधाते प्रतिष्ठिता वै स्थावराः पश्चादेव प्रतिष्ठते वहन्तीर्गृह्णाति ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ श्रीकृष्णयजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीयारण्यकान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीयोपनिषद ॐ यस्मात् जातं जगत् सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदं धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचैनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते ॐ अथ शान्तिमन्त्रः ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावीत तद्वक्तारमावीत आवेन्माम् आवेद्वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ द्वितीया ब्रह्मानन्दवल्ली शान्तिमन्त्रः ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ षष्ठोऽनुवाकः chant the sixth anuvaka with as much shraddha, prema, bhakti as possible. Om asanneva sa bhavade asad brahmeti veda cheta asti brahmeti chedveda santamenantato vidurede tasyaisha eva sharira atma yah purvasya athato nu prashnah अथातो नु प्रश्नाः उदा विद्वानमं लोकं प्रेत्य कश्चन गच्छति आहो विद्वानमं लोकं प्रेत्य कश्चित् समश्नुता ओ शोकामयत बहुस्यां प्रजायेते सतपोतप्यत सतवस्तप्त्वा इदकं सर्वमसृजत यदिदं किञ्च तत्सत्यं यदिदं किञ्च तत्सृष्ट्वा तदेवानुप्राविशद तदनुप्रविश्य सच्चत्यच्चाभवत् निरुक्तं च निरुक्तं च निलयनं च निलयनं च विज्ञानं च विज्ञानं च सत्यं चानृतं च सत्यमभवत् यदिदं किञ्च तत्सत्यमित्याचक्षते तदप्येष श्लोको भवति ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Let us salute wholeheartedly the Parabrahma Paramatma Shrutimata Samasta Brahma Vidya Acharya Sri Shrimani Gurudevata Gana Taittiriya Acharya Sab Vedavyasa Vaishampayana Yagnivalkya Adi Shankara Bhagavan, also our own Gurus Gotra Parampara Rishimuni and all Acharyas Mahatmas who are always guiding us, blessing us. Some in front of us, many without coming in our vicinity. To all of them, our salutations. Upanishad mantras have to be made familiar through regular chantings. Thereafter, the literal meaning of those words we must know. Thereafter, through Bhashyam, what is there deeply hidden regarding the truth, regarding the sadhana, regarding the preparation, we try to very acutely study, contemplate, and catch. Thereafter, obviously, prepare, thereafter perform, then reach the perfection. This is how, in simple words, we have to help ourselves through the Shastras and Guru to reach out to the ultimate. So, we are into this sixth Anuvakam, which is talking about the Brahma Vastusu Nirnaya Vicharana, which is our goal. So, basic question is Asti Nasti. Then Gachati Nagachati. Third is Samashnute Na Samashnute. Asti Nasti is it existing or not? Second, Gachati Nagachati is it understandable, comprehensible, is it reachable or not in our, let us say, subtle intellect's understanding? Third one, Samashrute va Nama Samashrute, is it experienced or not? So these doubts, when we remove, then we can be on the path. And affirmation only, because so many millions of Rishi Munis and the sadhakas, they have become siddha in knowing the truth of every one of them. The histories may not be there. Main may be there. That should be enough for us to trust or believe. So the Shruti, the Yukti, the Upamana should be the means for us to develop the faith in these three questions. The affirmative answer. Astivana asti means asti only. Gachativana gachati means gachati only. Then samashrutevana samashrute means samashrute. If not, a simple common sense. All the Vedantas, all Vedanta teaching gurus and ashramas, and all these things would have been just a mere waste and time pass. That would have been. Is it not? But that is not so. Therefore, that also can become a means for us to to develop the faith in the Brahma Astitva, Brahma Prapti possibility. It is all in our interest. Many people say Nasti only, therefore they don't even follow. They are running into the Asat Jagat. That is what very beautifully in the first sentence only said. Asanneva Sabhavati Asad Brahmeti Vedachet. We are not so much Asanneva Bhavati Asad Brahmeti, but we are not 100% Asti Brahmeti Chet Veda also. Ours is tentative. So to make it very confirmed and strong and convinced that we are studying Shastras. We are studying Shastra to become Asti Brahmeti Chet Veda brand. Then what will happen to us? We do sadhana. When we do sadhana, what will happen? We reach and experience Brahman. Then what will happen? Santamenam tato viduriti. We will be put in the category of the realized saints by the realized saints. Clear? Now we have come yesterday in the discussion about conclusion that he is asti. The example was given as karya karana sambandha. Entire jagat, right from akasha onwards, is a karya, and the karana is brahma according to Shruti Mata. And if the karya is there, karana also must be there. Without karana, karya cannot be. Therefore, just because it is not coming under the perception of our upadhis, Just because it is not a Vyavaharika Vastu, we cannot deny the presence of the Parabrahma. That is what. Second is what? Is it Jada or Chetana? The question. Purvapakshi says it is Jada because you have explained it with the help of Mrudu, which is a cause for the Mrudu parts. So, to the entire Jagat being Jada, the Karana of the Jagat also must be Jada. That's how he talked. Then Maharaj said, no, 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 that way don't see. There is quotation, so Kamayata. So many places. Therefore, a Jada Achetana cannot do Kamana. To do the Kamana, that Kamana doing entity must be Chaitanya Yukta. When this was said, he accepted that, but again raised another question. If this Paramatma also has got Kamanas, we also have Kamana. Why should we become him and suffer continuously? Let us continue our Jiva Bhava and our Kamana Yukta Jivanam. Why give up everything and become Brahman in whom also there are Kamanas? Answer is Bhagavan is Swatantra and Bhagavan has no dependency on anything else for fulfilling his kamanas. So, and his kamanas are born out of fullness, born out of wisdom, born out of compassion for the jivas, not for his own selfishness. Therefore, he is not anapta kama, he is apta kama. He is not pushed by the kamanas as we are pushed by them. He is not therefore bound by them like we are bound. So why Brahman has to be accepted as Kamaita? One, Shrutimata said. Second, the whole Srishti is in front of us. And never get stuck up in the thought that the Brahman has done the Kamana, then he has created the Srishti. Therefore, the Srishti is real, Brahma is Kamana is real. इसमें नहीं फंसना. All of them are only told to soften our ego or insistences to tell that there is Brahma from whom the entire world has come. We should have that maturity, magnanimity in our own interest to understand that all these questions are answered only to direct our attention to Brahma, nothing else. All this will be an endless discussion, just like the endless discussion and desire fulfilling efforts in our world or life for thousands of lives. यहाँ भी वो एंडलेस रहेगा. After certain level of faith reached to about the existence of Paramatma, we have to shift our attention discovering him. When we discover him, all vidyate hridaya granthe siddhyante sarva samshayaha kshiyante chasya karma. Many people get lost only in discussion, thinking and argumentation, and it is never ending. Because if the other Purvapakshi has his own strong notion, how much ever you put the logics, examples, still he will not believe. And to make him believe, you take another example, other logic, other quotation, again he will not believe. Never endlessly we struggle to make others believe. Brahmagnana is not a struggle to make others believe. Brahmagnana is for us to realize Brahma and get freed from our own jivadi bandhana. This maturity, this magnanimity, we have to have in our own interest. Else, as we are experts in asking questions, we go on asking question only. Asking question is not great thing. Finding the final solution is great. So up to this visa, so kamayata, up to the above thing, yes, 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 that was answered. That Brahma's kamanas are not born out of helplessness or lacuna or limitations or incompleteness like ours. Brahma is not persecuted by desires like we are. Instead, it is the other way around that it is Brahman or Paramatma who is the owner and a ruler of the desire. And to fulfill desire, like we need anya vastu antara avashyakata, he has not got. That sadhana antara anapekshatvat was the other reason given to prove that Bhagavan is swatantra as regards the desire. Therefore, having desire is not bondage. What for the desire, and are you slave or this or the Swami of the desire? That's important. And in this also, the only two things. One, the desire should be the welfare of all the jivas, and that should be in our control, swatantrata. Then the desire will not bind us. So with Swatantrata, the desire of welfare world to prove that, to achieve that, I do in the beginning social works. Later on, I understand by this redemption of people can't happen. Therefore, Adhyatmika Jnana I give. Even through Adhyatmika Jnana given for certain period, there comes a commitment or contentment inside. मैंने कर दिया जो मुझे करना था बाकी उन जीवों के हाथ में है so that gurus become relaxed. They are not worried about their desire. Gurudev started samstha. Through that, wanting to do prachar of Shastra, 42.5 years he struggled. Throughout world he traveled. Many hundreds yajnas he conducted. All of that is definitely out of the desire. That the Shastra Jnana, through that Marga for Moksha should be provided to all. But did that desire bind him? No, because he's Swatantra. It was his choice and he did as long as he could do, as many places he could do. At that उपाधि level, जिस उपाधियों को यूज करके करना था, उसके बाद relax. Therefore, Paramatma's desires won't bind him. He is Swatantra. Clear? In this way, Tata Brahmana Nimittantaradi Apekshatvam. Okay? किंच यथा अन्येषामनात्मभूताः धर्मादिनिमित्तापेक्षाः कामाः स्वात्मव्यतिरिक्तकार्यकरणसाधनान्तरापेक्षाः च न तथा ब्रह्मणः निमित्तान्तरादि अपेक्षत्वम्. Okay, this was a very crucial thing. Though we studied it, it's worthy of once more touching it. The topic discussed is in Brahma Tattva, to fulfill his desire, there is no apeksha of the other sadhanas. For us, there are apeksha of other sadhanas. First apeksha of sadhana is we have to do the dharma, the karma to fulfill our desires. Second, to do that, we need our own faculties to be intact. Third, the outside also some instruments are required. Fourth, the objects are required. Fifth, all of them should be in a good shape and position, coordinating and integrated. So many conditions are there in your and our desire fulfillment. परमात्मा में ये सब नहीं है ना. His own कारण, the nimitta karana is himself, upadana karana is himself, karana is himself, karma karana is himself. Because all of that, there is no problem. No, it's like if you have a driver, there's a problem whether he'll come on time and or not. Does he know perfectly or not? That day will he be sleepy in driving? But if you yourself are driver, there's no doubt at all. Confidently, zoom करके आराम से जा सकते. Is it not? If the petrol pump is yours, you are the driver, car is made in good shape, सब ठीक ठाक है, बढ़िया. इन्हें में ब्रह्मा कोई साधना का दूसरे का अपेक्षा नहीं रखते हैं. He is all capable. सर्वज्ञ, सर्वशक्तिमान होने के कारण he doesn't depend on others. Therefore, he is not anapta kama, he is not slave to the kama, he is not bound by the kama. And why we are accepting the Brahman to have kamana? Because Shruti Mata said so kamayata. Second is, if the Brahmana has not done kamana, the Srushti would have not come. Because any creation is expected to have the sankalpa desire to create. If not, it won't happen. Even within a tree, there is a sankalpa to create the fruits. Very subtle. That's how the tree goes on working in fulfilling its desire. A flower, a leaf will not come if the tree has no desire. Very subtly it is. It can be desire for survival, whatever you call it later on. Now, Swatmanha Ananyaha Tadetadaha, we have taken up the most beautiful topic for our discussion in continuation, which is there in that sixth Anuvaka. And what is that? So kamayata bahusyam praja yeyeti satapotapyata सतपस्तप्त्वा इदगं सर्वमसृजत यदिदं किञ्च तत् सृष्ट्वा तदेवानुप्राविशत तदनुप्रविश्य। यहाँ तक ही एक आध्यात्मिक क्षेत्र में, अद्वैत वेदांत क्षेत्र में एक बहुत बहुत मुख्य टॉपिक है. वेरी 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 one by one sentence, just again rechant and see the literal meaning and the logical explanation by Bhashyakara. First, so kamayata, saha kamayata, saha akamayata. Second, bahusyam. Third, prajayeya iti. Then, to do that kamana fulfillment, satapotapyata. Then, satapastaptva idagam sarvam asrudata. Yad idam kincha. Tat सृष्ट्वा तदेवानुप्राविशत तदनुप्रविश्य सच्च त्यच्चाभवत् निरुक्तं च निरुक्तं च निलयनं च निलयनं च विज्ञानं च तदनुप्रविश्य. Then सच्च त्यच्चाभवत् इत्यादि we will see later. So first two things, saha akamayata. तो सह कहा आकाशादि कारण रूप आत्मा. तस्माद्वा एतस्माद् आत्मनः आकाश संभूतः. सो आकाशादि कारण रूप सः अकामयतः सः आत्मा यस्माद् आकाशः संभूतः तत्सदात्मा अकामयत अकामयत कामितवान्. ओके, कथं कामितवान्? सो what is the kamana of that atmavastu much before the creation is created as the first step? Bahusya. So let me become many, let me appear as many. मैं खुद ही अनेक बनूं. बहुश्याम means bahum prabhu. Bahu means prabhutam. Syam means bhaveyam. Here only entire cruxes are there. I am one, I want to appear as many. I am one, I want to appear as many. You can use the word as become many, but that should not make us misunderstand that once the one without second Brahman became many, his one without second nature is gone. That way we should not misunderstand. Then you can take the word become. But otherwise, appearing is good, that it won't create any confusion. So bahusyam means bahu means prabhutam, syam bhaveyam. देखो, मुझे बहुत बनना है, बहुत बनना है, बहुत बनना है. Now, कथम एकस्य अर्थांतर अननुप्रवेशे बहुत्वं स्यात् इति उच्यते. So, this is a very, very crucial discussion, these next two sentences. This Brahman is said to be without vikara. So, how come without vikara or changing its original shape, etc., can it become many? The answer is the technique of prajayeya, by being born. Now, is this birth of Brahman into the form of whole world of names and forms? Is it like the birth of the child with the father to the father or mother? Yesterday we discussed it. Somebody asked question also. We have answered it. These are 3-4 things very, very we have to be crucial in our understanding. Vedanta is nothing but deeper and subtler understanding. That will come when we are very calm, quiet, subtle. Calmness, quietness, subtlety comes only when we are unbiased with our preconceived ignorances, which we take as knowledge, and then from that standpoint of ignorance taken as knowledge, we keep on questioning and objecting. Like, how can Bhagwan become so many? Because you and I cannot become so many. From this inability of ours, we think Bhagwan also cannot. But there is no question, because Bhagwan has become so many. अब दिख ही रहा है. How the small seed, that Bhattavruksha seed, it is smaller than even a rai. But when it goes through biologically from any bird or so, It has to go through. Then only it will germinate. It has become such a huge tree. How come such a huge tree has come from small seed? Because in another cases you cannot do it. You can't question. अबे सवाल किधर है? You are seeing such a big tree already, and in those trees, that tree there are seeds again. See, sow the seed and be alive for 200-300 years. You will see that again a big gigantic tree comes from that small seed. In the same way, these objections, questions based on our own ignorance and strongly preconceived notions, when we drop and in an unbiased manner, when we listen to the Guru, Shruti Mata and their explanation, then we start listening, understanding, and accepting. Finally, it is acceptance. So, what is the sequence of thought developed? Saha akamayata. Saha atma yasmat akashadi sambhutaha saha akamayata. Katham bahu syam. Bahu prabhutam. Syam bhaveyam. Katham swa atma aparityagena bahu bhavanam uchyate. Yatha, what was it here? Bahutvam syat iti uchyate. Prajayeya means utpadyeya. So through the Prajayeya or Utpatti, I will become many. Remember, Shankara Bhagavan is not independently talking. Bhashyakara. He is explaining to us the Moola mantras of the Shruti Mata. Therefore, he will not digress from Shruti Mata's Bhashya to satisfy us or to convince us. He will tell what Shruti Mata says only. And Shruti Mata says the ultimate truth only. We have traveled so far in time from that Shruti Mata into a different zone of taking these things as real. Therefore, our intellect is conditioned by these notions. Therefore, we are not able to catch it. To satisfy us, Shankara Bhagavan will not digress from Shastra. Not like a modern parents to satisfy the children. They give up all the rules and regulation disciplines of how to bring up children. Clear. So, Bahusyam, one by one word, Saha Akamayata. Clear? That Atma Vastu he has desired. What desire he has got? Bahusyam. Bahu means Prabhutam, Syam means Bhaveyam. So, Prabhutam Bhaveyam means I want to become many. How can you become many? By remaining yourself as you are. Because Brahman never changes. He is Nirvikari. Therefore, he says by Utpatti. Up to this, that Utpatti is called as Prajayeya. Through the Prajati, through the birth, I want to become many. Now here the Shruti Mata made corrections or made us correct in our understanding, didn't allow us to go in wrong understanding. What is that here? Ki nahi putrotpatya iva artha antara vichayam bahubhavanam. Is it not like the father or mother have a dozen children? So each child is different, definitely from the mother and father. And yesterday we were talking about it. One or two questions came and they were answered. So out of dozen children, one may be male, one may be female. There may be some twins also. And then the mother and father are very light weighted. The children can be heavy weighted, or the parents can be heavy. Children are light. Finally, they are totally different rupa, different nama. Once they are born, they are totally away other than parents. In them, the parents are not there anymore. Once the child is born out of the womb, emotionally you can cling on to my child, you feed him. ये सब नौटंकी ठीक है. But as such the child when he is born is other than you. That is called as Arthantara Vishayam. Arthantara Vishayam is totally different from him and you. His Sukha Dukha is not yours, but you may feel it so. That is because of attachment. Many parents don't feel, "अरे गधे को लगना ही चाहिए they say," and such children grow out well. It's all conditional. In some places, children only seek all sympathy. In many places, children say, Mama, don't worry about me. I think these are all relative. But once they are born, they are away. Parents are not there in the children physically. Is it not? Okay, Onak. In this way is not the birth of the Jagat from Brahma. That when the Jagat is born, that Brahman and Jagat are no more same. They are separate as a nahi. In and through this created Jagat, the Brahma Vastu is always inherently there. Three things are understood so far. So kamayata bahusyam prajayeya. Now in this prajayeya, how it happens, what exactly is the birth of entire world, if that one thing clicks to us, and using that when you go into deep meditation, we can realize the truth ourselves. So cute and important is this thought. Here comes answer once for all for the both most important question. What is the meaning of creation? What exactly happened? Creation means. No better answer than this. Okay, let us study that portion. Finally, nahi putrotpatyaya vardhantra vishayam bahubhanam kathan tarhi. What is therefore the bahubhavanam of the Brahma? What is the meaning of Brahma? Fulfilled his desire of creation by creating the variety of the world of things and beings. What exactly happened is this one. Very, very subtle. What it is? कि आत्मस्थ अनभिव्यक्त नाम रूप अभिव्यक्त्या. Every word is $1,000,000 here. आत्मस्थ अनभिव्यक्त नाम रूप अभिव्यक्ति एव बहुभवनम. Atmastha, inherently in the self only. Anabhivyakta, unmanifest. Namarupa, names and forms. Abhivyakti, manifestation, is called as creation or birth or becoming many, whatever you call. Therefore, what is entire creation? Rupa, Nama, given to that Paramatma. That's it. Other than that, as a creation, there is no independent entity other than Brahman. This is what we have to catch. Focus on that. Pause there. Take the examples as many as possible, and the intellect or mind which is refusing to accept this, that has to be tamed and managed to make it accept. The examples are the water and wave, the gold and the ornaments. Where are all the ornaments? In the gold eternally. What exactly is the ornament? A form given and a name given. But in those examples, in case of Srushti, the biggest difference and biggest problem is when the gold becomes gold ornaments, it is so conspicuous, obvious for us to touch and see gold and gold alone in and through the ornament. इसलिए ज़्यादा टेंशन और प्रॉब्लम नहीं होता वो एक्सेप्ट करने के लिए कि फ्रॉम द गोल्ड giving to it a name and form is the ornamentation, creation of ornament. Easy to understand. The example of the water wave, the mud and pot, the ornaments and gold, because gold and ornament are similar, mud and pot are similar, so too the water and wave are similar. But that way is not similar or easy. The world, in the world, the multiplicity is so big, variety are so contrasting, so absolutely opposite to each other, because of which it makes us refuse to accept. Is it not that? The colder than the cold zones of minus 40 degrees are there. Hotter than the hot of plus 60 degrees Celsius are there. So intellect will not abruptly accept with such a opposite, tangentially, diagonally opposite two things. How can one self can manifest as? There is an as soft as a butter is there, as hard as a stone is there, as sweet as a nectar, or what is it, honey is there, as bitter as the bitter god is there. See the differences? As infinitely spacious as the space is there, as finite the other things are there is in this world. कितना कॉन्ट्रास्ट है इस जगत के वस्तुओं में, है ना? द कोल्डनेस अगेन वी हैव सीन इट, विंटर्स कोल्डनेस, समर्स हॉटनेस, एंड कलर्स एंड फॉर्म्स, द रेड कलर, द ब्लैक, द ब्लू, एक दूसरे का कोई संबंध ही नहीं. कॉन्ट्रास्ट, नो contrast. See between the plants and birds, the birds and animals and human beings, and human beings and plants. इसका उसका कोई संबंध ही नहीं है. तो from one Paramatma, how much so diagonally, seemingly opposite natured things can come? This makes it difficult for us to accept. The example is not one electricity illuminating all variety of electronic or electrical components. So that can be a helpful thing. Second is what? That is what is the glory of the Shakti of the Brahman, that he can express in this way. A tall peaked mountain also, a very small boulder also, a huge ocean also, a small lake also, a big tree also, a small shrub also, a big what you call the लौकी का भी बनता है, छोटा सा टमाटर भी बनेगा, एक ही परमात्मा से. So, throughout life, now learn what is meditation. Key discovering the self amidst all the seeming world of Rupanama, through the knowledge that the Paramatma manifesting the Rupanama is called as creation. Therefore, if you have to discover Paramatma on the seat of meditation, when we decide, when we transcend the perception of Rupa, perception of Nama, and consciously remain, then we discover Sarva Nama Sarva Rupa Rahita Parabrahma. आत्मस्थ अनभिव्यक्त नाम रूप अभिव्यक्ति एव प्रजायेय एव बहुश्याम एव सृष्टि. And in this way, Saha Akamayata is fulfilled. And we have seen already the Nama Rupa will have to come from within only, cannot from anywhere else. So Rupa, waveness, the water, the name to that wave has to come from the water only. It's not anywhere else. Is it not? So Atmastha Anabhivyakta Nam Rupa Abhivyakti. By heart karo a sentence ko. Atmastha Anabhivyakta Nam Rupa Abhivyaktiya. Then यदा आत्मस्थे अनभिव्यक्ते नाम रूपे व्याक्रियेते, when the unmanifest rupa nama which are inherent in the Paramatma only vyakriyate, when they come to manifestation, vyakriyate means coming to manifestation, tada that time be attentive, tada that time. Now contrast is given uh, between this truth expressing as rupa nama and the children born to the father. They are different, no? ऐसा नहीं है, कहते हुए कहते हैं कि तदा नाम रूपे, लिजन केयरफुली, आत्मस्वरूप अपरित्यागेन एव ब्रह्मणा अप्रभिवक्त देश काले सर्वावस्थासु व्याक्रियेते, तदा तत् नाम रूप व्याकरणम ब्रह्मणः बहुभवनम. These are the few things. So, to simply understand it, it is key. The inherent Rupa Nama, which were unmanifest, come to manifestation. When it happens, the manifestation of inherent Rupa Nama, let that Rupa Nama be attentive, be of any type. Let that Rupa Nama be at any place. Let that Rupa Nama be at any time. So, at all times, in all places, in every Rupa Nama, this Brahma has not disappeared. He is in that only. Just like son is born to father, then son is gone to office, father gone to school. आजकल ऐसे होता है. Okay ना? He is gone. So wherever the son is not there, is there, father is not there. Son is playing in playground. Father is not there. He is washing dishes at home. In that way, it is not so. So at all places, in all times, in every Rupanama, that Brahman from whom the unmanifest leveled Rupanama got manifested, he is inherently there. नहीं कि जैसे पानी में से लहर आया, इट्स नॉट दैट पानी नहीं है और लहर अलग है. Wherever in the whole world, wherever the oceans are there, rivers are there, wherever the waves are there, at all times, even at dark pitch night, we cannot see the waves there. But even at that time, the waves are there. In them also, the same water substratum is there. Like समुद्र के किनारे आप रहते हो, pitch dark, you don't see the waves there. Because light is required for it. Doesn't mean the waves are not there, and at that time also inside the wave the same water is permeated. How much important this thought for us to make our intellect accept both the things. One, the unmanifest Rupanama getting manifested is called Bahubhavanam. Second, when the Rupanama got manifested, at all place, at all times, in it through all Rupanama, that Parabrahma has not gone away or disappeared. He is very much there in it. That is called as Brahmanaha Bahubhavanam. सो यदा आत्मस्थे अनभिव्यक्ते नाम रूपे व्याक्रियते. जब आत्म के अंदर रहने वाला तब तक अनभिव्यक्त वाला अनभिव्यक्त वाला रूप नाम व्याक्रियते अभिव्यक्त होते हैं. अप टू दिस अंडरस्टैंड नाउ. सेकंड, आत्मस्वरूप अपरित्यागेन एव ब्रह्मणा. So without giving up its own Atma Swarupa, which is Brahma Tattva, Pravibhakta Desha Kale, in every Desha and every Kala, Sarvavastha, so in all conditions, Vyakriyate. This is how the Rupa Nama get manifested. Tada, that time, Tat Nama Rupa Vyakaranam, that expression of Rupa Nama, Brahmana Bahubhavanam, called as Brahma becoming many. सर्वावस्थासु मीन्स ऑल अवस्था, सर्वदेश सर्वकाल सर्ववस्तु सर्व अवस्था में from the Brahman, when the Rupa Nama get manifested from unmanifest, in that Rupa Nama Brahman is very much there. So now apply this principle throughout the day. This is called open-eyed meditation. Who can do it? The one who has not given undue importance to objects, Rupa Nama, because of their utility value or his desires for them. And Newton would have never discovered the that law of gravitation. At that time, if he had a desire for eating that apple, so many times the apple or other fruits fell. But every time he was interested in eating, they did not click. But that day he was full in his stomach. There was no desire to eat. Therefore, when it fell, the question came, कुछ भी गिर रहा है क्यों नीचे गिर रहा है, ऊपर क्यों नहीं जा रहा. तो कोई बैठा है नीचे, वो खींच रहा है. Is it not? The subtle ability to pierce through and get deeper understandings come to that subtle intellect only, which is freed from the desire or the utility value given to the world. Else, the intellect will think in those forms. And also, there will be a fear if this way it's discovered, then the utility or the desire for the world may go away, and we are living on the strength of desires only so far. Therefore, such you and I are not allowed by our intellect to deeply contemplate and come to the true understanding. These are all will be discussed as Antaraya now in our next class. Perfectly from last 3 years, All our texts, Subha, Dopar, Sham, are having the interconnectable, relevant topics exactly every day. नॉट 3 दिन पहले 3 दिन बाद, क्योंकि हमको कल का भी याद नहीं रहता। जिस दिन का उस दिन सब मिलाकर भगवान दे रहे हैं हमको। So now look at a wall. So what is wall? From Parabrahma only, through the Akashadi, through the Paramanuvadi, through Anavadi, all these unmanifest Rupa Nama, which is inside Parabrahma, has manifested while doing happening. So the Brahma with his nature, Satya Jnanam, is very much there in that wall. Whether that wall is made in the morning or evening, Kala. 10 साल पहले और 10 साल बाद, Kala. In India or in Japan, Desha. In a cold condition or a hot condition, wherever. सारे देशों में, सारे कालों में, सारे वस्तुओं में, सारे अवस्थाओं में वो ब्रह्म जिनके अंदर अनमैनिफेस्ट रूप नाम मैनिफेस्ट हुए हैं, वो ब्रह्म उस रूप नाम है, इनहेरेंटली है. In this way, the manifestation of unmanifest Rupa Nama from within is called as Brahmanaha Bahubhavanam. Therefore, Brahma remaining intact from within, he is projecting out the unmanifest Rupa Nama, which we are now seeing and giving importance so much through Raga and Dvesha or beautification, etc., that our intellect has become dull to discover the common eternally existing substratum called as Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So, Tannama Rupa Vyakaranam Brahmanaha Bahubhavanam. This is the way. The Brahman has become the world. That is what Shruti again says, Idagam Sarvam Brahma. Why? How it is? Because everywhere there is Satyam Jnanantam, Brahma very much is there. Even in the non-existing also, it has to be substantiated as is only. उस नास्ति को भी ब्रह्मा ही सपोर्ट करते हैं. Think about it. Now, there is no other way of Brahma becoming many. What is the discussion going on? So kamayata bahusyam prajayeya. So kamayata bahusyam prajayeya. These are the three words we are analyzing to come to the clear understanding that Bhagavan desired to become many by birth. And what is the birth? This is a crucial thought. Unmanifest Rupanama manifested. When the Rupanama manifested, what happened to Brahman? Has he divorced from the Rupanama? No, he is very much inherently in that Rupanama. Where? Everywhere. What time? Every time. Which situation? Every situation. In which manifested Rupanama? Every manifested Rupanama. When we devalue the Rupanama, you understand. Then we'll be transcending Rupanama. Then we can see the substrat. Getting lost in Rupanama is called Moha. When you are freed from that Moha, then we can see the truth. Otherwise, if this is not the way, then there is no other way you can arrive to this conclusion that from the Brahma, the world has emerged out of his own desire. And that we have to accept, basic things. So कामयत भविष्याम प्रजायति, ये तो श्रुति का वाक्य है. हमको इसी को एक्सेप्ट करना है, इसी को समझना है, इसका ऑपोजिट कुछ सोचना ही नहीं. Therefore, he just extends the discussion. Anyatha, anyatha, न अन्यथा न अन्यथा निरवयवस्य ब्रह्मणः बहुत्व आपत्तिः उपपद्यते अल्पत्वं वा. Therefore, reason na anyatha means this is the only way the Brahman has to manifest as the world, because he is niravayava. Be attentive. Niravayava means no parts, no partitions possible in Brahma, just like Akasha. Akash ko, you can imagine the directions as parts of Akasha, but Akasha as such is such a material that it cannot be made into avayavas of directions. For the sake of our utility, we may impose on it, but just lift your intellect's understanding about the Akasha. Can the Akasha be divided? इट इज सच ए निरवयवी कि उसको आप अवयव के रूप में डिवाइड नहीं कर सकते. इफ द आकाश itself is like that, the cause of आकाश परमात्मा तो और भी निरवयवी है. therefore be attentive. निरवयवी ऐसे परमात्मा, be attentive. बहु बनना और छोटे मोटे बनना जैसे भी बताया वैसा ही होएगा, नॉट अदरवाइज. The inherent name and form expressing outside, same time in and through every name and form that Brahman is there. In this way only Bahubhavanam is possible. In other way, Brahman becoming small, becoming tall, becoming bigger, becoming मिठा, तो ये ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता. And he becoming so many also he cannot be. So many variety of Rupanama, and each variety of Rupanama have got different quality. In the way, Brahman cannot become because he is Niravayavi. Then how? It's only unmanifest Rupanama getting manifested. This is what is the thing. न अन्यथा निरवयवस्य ब्रह्मणः बहुत्व आपत्ति ही उपपद्यते अल्पत्वं वा. बहुत्व आपत्ति means becoming many. Alpatva means becoming small, bigger, etc. Becoming many and becoming varied in sizes. Okay, it is no possibility at all. यथा आकाशस्य अल्पत्वं बहुत्वं च वस्तु अंतरकृतम एव. See, the bigness of the space and smallness of space is projected, imagined on the space which is always one, which can never be talked as big or small because of the vastu antara, means an upadhi, a wall or the four walls. When you make four walls and the rupavo, then the inside the face space has become as if small, and there is a big space outside. The vastu antara means other than the space called as these walls are the ones which tentatively made us believe that the infinite akasha has got divided into two. One is infinite akasha, second is the akasha in the hall, secondly the akasha in the hall is small. Separation as well as qualification. Separation is the inside the hall space is separate from the total space. Qualification is the inside the hall space is either small or big or rectangular, square, whatever the qualifications you give it to. Both the hall space is separate from the total space as well as the hall space is rectangular or triangular is imagined by the upadhi called as the walls. Never ever really there are two akashas, or the big akasha became small or small akasha is a small. ये सब कभी हुआ ही नहीं, हो भी नहीं सकता. In the same way, undue value given to the Namarupadi Upadhi makes us feel that Paramatma different, the world is different, and in the different world, the varieties are true, separate from Brahma. In this ignorance or notion, we are living. यथा आकाशस्य अल्पत्वं वस्तुअंतर बहुत्वं च वस्तुअंतरकृतम् एव. A big hall or a small hall. It is because of the walls hanging in the space only we call it. Otherwise, Akasha is indivisible. It cannot be made into smaller or bigger. You cannot measure the Akasha to be chota, bada, mota, tagda. Do you say that? Like a pot is very mota and another pot is very patla. So the pot ke karana inside the space appears to be mota and patla, but space has never suffered that change inherently because it is such a niravayava thing, it cannot become like that. In the same way, the inner pure conscious existing self cannot suffer its natural thing, cannot lose its nature. Therefore, the unmanifest Rupanama becoming manifest is the only way to accept the Bahubhavanam of Brahman. Neither Brahman has separated into टुकड़े टुकड़े, like बिग बैंग होकर भगवान सूर्य से भूमि अलग होकर दूर फेंका जाकर ठंडा हो करके भूमि बन गया, ऐसे देश है. आफ्टर दिस द सूर्य इज देयर, भूमि इज हियर, उनका कोई संबंध नहीं है, बट सूर्य goes on sends the heat and light. In this way he has not become. So to the other planets, one is smaller, one is bigger. ऐसे सूर्य से ही आए हैं कहते हैं. In this way, separating from Brahman and getting qualified into Rupa Nama is never happened in Brahma. Brahman remaining as intact only, on him the Rupa Nama have been accepted as real, which are manifested from within Brahma, which were unmanifest earlier. जैसे यथा आकाशस्य अल्पत्वं बहुत्वं च वस्तु अंतर्कृतम् एव अतः 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 now conclusion is तद्वारेण एव आत्मा बहु भवति. In this way alone, the many becoming many of the Brahman we have to contemplate. So before that, something small, something bigger, something tall, something shorter, something fat, something thin, lean, ये सारे चीजों को स्पेसिफिक वैल्यू देना हमको भूलना चाहिए, छोड़ना चाहिए. Stop commenting and labeling of aspirations in so many ways. Then only what is that which one thing which is manifesting in these so many forms, we'll be able to focus our attention to discover. है कि नहीं? नथनी है या फिंगर में रखने वाला अंगूठा है या गले का नेकलेस है. If our interest is on these forms and names, the gold behind all of them which is common, our intellect will not be able to catch it. In the same way, the world with so many varieties are there. Don't get too much attracted towards it. Don't get too much acharya chakita seeing it. Don't get lost giving value importance to the mind in the mind intellect, because of which the inquiry into the substratum of it will not start, will not reach to the discovery of the substratum. That is why Bhagavan made the world with so many contrast pictures. Seeing all those contrast things, you devalue it. Only one part of it you see, then you will value it. The same hospital, the child is born, crack, crack, crack. In the next ward, only the old man died. Same hospital, one is getting admitted with a disease, another is getting discharged, has become okay. Somebody is entering a hotel with hungry stomach, other is filled stomach going out to. The two contrast is there are small things, big things. Rich people, poor people. Rich becoming poor, poor becoming richer. Is it not a very powerful person become powerless? Powerless fellow देखते देखते पावरफुल हो गया. अब इतने कॉन्ट्रास्ट को देखने का इसके प्रति हमको कोई जो वैल्यू नहीं रहता. That is what is to be achieved. For that only Bhagwan made a big elephant also, made a small insect also. Made a karodpati also, another roadpati also. A highly scholarly, intelligent person and Buddhu like you and me, or me, not you. Bhagavan made every pictures, every contrast. Do you understand it? Huge mountain you see and small grain of sand you see. A huge tide also see, a small ripple also see. दिख रहा है कि नहीं? इससे क्या हुआ? छोटा हो या बड़ा हो, दोनों को वैल्यू देना निकल जाएगा. छोटा बड़ा बन रहा है, बड़ा छोटा बन रहा है. देखो इसका कोई मायना नहीं है, इसलिए मायना मत दो. Then that part of mind intellect is saved from getting lost. And then set in to the inquiry. What is that which is appearing as big or appearing as small is one common substrate. And in this world, as we said, small becoming bigger, bigger becoming small, all of that, it's all going on happening. It need not be value. This is what Maya. Maya does two things. It makes the impossible things as if happen outside. Second, inside us it works within us and makes us see it, get enchanted by it, get struck with wonderment, so that you don't inquire into the cause of it. Like children, when they do some mistake, mother tries to question. He will try to divert her attention by saying something or the other. To the point वो आने नहीं देता. But मम्मी बोलता मम्मी ज़्यादा इंटेलिजेंट है. शी विल जय मैं जो बात कर रहा हूँ तू क्या बोला चुप मैं जो पूछ रहा हूँ बताओ. But she's intelligent and loving also, let us say, like Yashoda Mata. She understands this fellow wants to cover up. Chal theek hai. He is my son only. If not he, who will make mistakes? She will accept. But the child will try to. In the same way, the inner Maya, making us enchanted with the Rupa Nama, doesn't allow our intellect to contemplate on what is beyond. What is that which is appearing as this? If that aspect of getting enchanted, when it is kept aside, like any scientist, like I gave the example now, when they are free from their emotions, their sense organs and their perceptions and the value given to them, then only the intellect is steady enough, strong enough, single pointed enough to become subtle enough to pierce through the grosser things to see the substratum, to see the common cause. Okay, now next topic is good one. Nahi atmanah anyat anatma bhutam tat prabhibhakta deshakalam sukshmam vyavahitam viprakrustam bhutam bhavishadva vastu vidyate atah nama rupe sarvavaste brahmana eva atmavati न ब्रह्म तदात्मकम ते तत्प्रत्याख्याने न स्तः एव इति तदात्मके उच्येते ताभ्यां च उपाधिभ्यां ज्ञातृ ज्ञेय ज्ञान शब्द अर्थ आदि सर्व संव्यवहार भाग ब्रह्म. इफ मैं ये समझ पाऊँ ना तो मेरा दिमाग सीधा है और सूक्ष्म है, और आपको मैं समझा पाऊँ तो आई एम पास्ड. Like there are the demo classes to the teachers. In the initial days, the senior teachers or principal, if I can understand word by word thoroughly, I am intelligent. And if I can explain to you, I am really good talk speaker or acharya. And if you can understand, you are Jivan Mukta. But that will make me sad because you will not come to my class. But I have come to a conclusion, you're all Brahmagyani. You visit class like a chief guest once in a while, only to test whether I am alive or not, or doing my work or not. Therefore, that problem also gone. But then, this topic is so powerful, so complete it is, little sublime, subtler. But I have confidence that I can speak to you, double confidence you can understand with our faith in Guru and Shastra and Shruti Mata, as well as our in God. Our 3 years of efforts are tested in our understanding this paragraph. And this entire topic, in fact, sixth Anuvak mein, the first portion itself, Asanne Vasavati Asad Brahmaiti Vedachet, how interesting, how engrossing it was. The second portion, Soka Ameda Bhashyam Prajayati, this is the highlight of this Upanishad. Then the Sachatyacha Bhavatu Niruktam Cha Niruktam Nilayam Cha Nilayanam, वो वाला ये वाला थोड़ा संबंधित है. इसको समझे तो उसको समझ सकते हैं. So I will chant it again. Leave it tomorrow for tomorrow's discussion. What it is? Nahi atmanah anyat anatma bhutam tat pravibhakta deshakalam sukshmam vyavahitam viprakrustam bhutam bhavishadva vastu vidyate. अतः नाम रूपे सर्वावस्थे ब्रह्मणा एव आत्मति न ब्रह्म तदात्मकम ते तत्प्रत्याख्याने नस्तः एव इति तदात्मके उच्यते ताभ्यां च उपाधिभ्यां ज्ञातृ ज्ञेय ज्ञान शब्द अर्थ आदि सर्व संव्यवहार भाग ब्रह्म सह आत्मा एवं कामः सन् तपः अतप्यतः तपः इति ज्ञानम् उच्यते. आहा. In this beautiful questions answers, will make our intellect heated up, and if you continue in that heat only, the misunderstandings, less understandings, wrong understandings go away, and complete and correct understandings will come. So pray for me, pray for you that tomorrow straight away we chant this paragraph and try to catch it. I am not in a hurry to finish the book, at least one or two textbooks with patience, with our own whatever abilities God gave us, using them. If you try to understand, I think we have justified taking this opportunity or blessing given by God. हाँ, कितना ज्ञान आएगा, कितना टिकेगा, कितना साधना होएगा, again all that again ईश्वर इच्छा और प्रारब्ध and संकल्प. Nothing in this life to make us worried, even Shastra Adhyana. Let it happen in a relaxed mood, not lazy mood. Active, dynamic, relaxed mood, slowly, steadily, knowing our limitations and capacities, using them, we have to evolve in our understanding. Continue tomorrow. Sarvam Parabrahma Charanara Vindarpanamastu. Om 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 Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Paramanashibhyo Parabrahmane Shrutimatre Namaha Sri Vedavyasa Vaishambhane Agnivalka Adi Shankaradi Asmat Gurubhyo Namam Tatsat Brahmarpanamastu. Thank you, friends. Om.